Do you know what behaviors can scare men off in a relationship? It's a question that's been asked for ages and yet remains ever relevant. Today, we're going to explore 5 behaviors from women that can potentially unsettle men. These behaviors, while not exclusive to any gender, are often reported by men as reasons for discomfort or disengagement in a relationship. Understanding each other's perspectives in a relationship is crucial. It's not about pointing fingers or blaming one party, but about fostering mutual respect and empathy. As we delve into these behaviors, we urge you to approach them with an open mind, reflecting on your own actions and how they may be perceived by your partner. From excessive jealousy to dishonesty. These behaviors span a wide spectrum, each with its own set of complexities and implications. Now, let's delve into the behaviors that can scare men off, starting from the least to the most impactful. At number 5, we have excessive jealousy. Picture this. You're out with your partner and a friendly barista flashes you a smile as they hand over your coffee. You think nothing of it, but your partner? Well, they're stewing over it for the rest of the day. This, my friends, is a classic example of excessive jealousy. A tinge of jealousy can be flattering, even endearing at times. It's natural to feel a certain level of possessiveness over someone you love. But when that jealousy crosses a line, it can turn into a real relationship killer. Imagine being constantly questioned about your interactions with others, or having your social media scrutinized for any signs of impropriety. It's suffocating, isn't it? It's like living in a constant state of being under investigation. Excessive jealousy is often a sign of deep-seated insecurity. It's not about the barista's smile or the friendly text from a coworker. It's about the fear of losing someone, the fear of not being enough. But ironically, this behavior can push the person away instead of bringing them closer. And here's the thing, jealousy doesn't just harm the person on the receiving end, it's also incredibly damaging to the person experiencing it. It's like being trapped in a cycle of distrust, suspicion, and negativity. It's exhausting and it's no way to live. A relationship should be a partnership, a safe haven. It should be built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. But excessive jealousy can erode the very foundations of this partnership. It creates an environment of suspicion, where every interaction is seen as a potential threat. So, how can we overcome this? Communication is key. If you're feeling jealous, talk about it. Understand that these feelings are often more about you than about your partner. Work on your self-esteem and learn to trust your partner. Remember, trust forms the foundation of any relationship. So, let's build our relationships on trust, not jealousy. It's not always easy, but it's definitely worth it. And hey, if you're the one on the receiving end of excessive jealousy, remember, you deserve a relationship that's built on mutual respect and trust. Don't settle for less. Coming in at number 4 is overdependence. Now, relationships are all about companionship, about 2 people coming together to share their lives. But it's critical to remember that a relationship is a union of 2 independent individuals, each with their own interests, passions, and identities. When one party becomes overly dependent on the other, the balance shifts. Overdependence can take many forms. It might be a constant need for reassurance, an inability to make decisions without the other person, or a relinquishment of personal interests and hobbies in favor of those of the partner. While it's natural to lean on your partner for support and guidance, overdependence can place an undue burden on the other person. It can make them feel as though they are responsible, not just for their own happiness, but for their partner's as well. That's a lot of pressure for anyone to handle, and it can lead to feelings of resentment or suffocation. Moreover, overdependence can also rob an individual of their sense of self. It's important to maintain your individuality even when you're part of a couple. That means pursuing your own interests, maintaining your own friendships, and making time for yourself. This not only makes you a more interesting person, but it also makes you a better partner. In addition, overdependence can stifle growth, both personal and as a couple. When 2 people are overly reliant on each other, they may miss out on opportunities for personal development. They may also become so entwined that they lose sight of their own needs and desires. So, how can one avoid overdependence? By cultivating a strong sense of self, by maintaining interests outside of the relationship, and by learning to be comfortable alone. Remember, it's perfectly okay to need your partner, but it's not okay to need them for everything. In conclusion, overdependence can scare men off because it puts too much pressure on them and disrupts the balance of the relationship. A healthy relationship involves two independent individuals coming together, not one person losing their identity. At the middle of our list, we find being too controlling. A woman's desire to control can stem from various sources: insecurity, fear, or even a misguided sense of love. But no matter the root cause, it can create a stifling environment that scares men off. Picture this: a man who has to report his every move, can't make decisions without approval, or isn't allowed to have his own set of friends. Sounds suffocating, doesn't it? This is what it feels like to be at the receiving end of excessive control. Being overly controlling can also manifest in subtle ways. It might be a woman dictating her partner's wardrobe, critiquing his eating habits, or even trying to shape his career choices. These actions, while seemingly small, can be damaging. They convey a lack of trust and respect for the man's ability to make decisions for himself. Now, this is not to say that women shouldn't have a say in their relationships, quite the contrary. It's about finding a balance between expressing your preferences and respecting your partner's autonomy. And this balance is crucial in maintaining a healthy and fulfilling relationship. Imagine a relationship where both parties respect each other's individuality, where they can express their thoughts and opinions without fear of judgment or retribution. This is the ideal scenario, isn't it? It's a place where love thrives, where trust is fostered, and where both parties feel valued and heard. And let's not forget, compromise is key. It's about understanding that you won't always agree on everything, and that's okay. It's about finding middle ground, making concessions, and respecting each other's boundaries. It's about allowing your partner the freedom to be themselves while still being a part of a loving and committed relationship. In conclusion, being too controlling can indeed scare men off. It's a behavior that stifles freedom, undermines individuality, and hinders the growth of a relationship. But with mutual respect and compromise, this behavior can be kept in check. Remember, a relationship is about sharing power, not one person having all the control. Just missing the top spot, at number 2, we have a lack of respect. Now just take a moment to think about that. Respect, it's such a small word, but it carries such weight and significance in our relationships. It's the cornerstone, the foundation, the glue that binds us all together. Without it, what do we really have? Imagine you're in a relationship where your opinions are constantly belittled, where your feelings are tossed aside like yesterday's newspaper, where your worth is routinely questioned. Sounds pretty grim, doesn't it? That's because it is. This is what a relationship without respect looks like. It's an environment that's as suffocating as it is toxic. We all want to feel valued, to feel important, to feel, well, respected. We want our partners to listen to our thoughts, to consider our feelings, to value our input, but when respect is lacking, all of this falls by the wayside. Your words lose their meaning, your feelings become irrelevant, and your worth is diminished. And it's not just about blatant disrespect, like name-calling or public humiliation. It can also be subtle, like constant interruption when you're speaking, disregard for your time and plans, or dismissive attitudes towards your ambitions and dreams. All these actions, whether big or small, signal a lack of respect. And men, just like women, can be scared off by this. Nobody wants to feel like they're constantly walking on eggshells or that their voice doesn't matter. A relationship should be a partnership, an equal playing field, where both parties treat each other with mutual respect. And the top behavior that scares men off is dishonesty. A crucial cornerstone of any relationship is trust, and trust is built on honesty. Dishonesty then becomes a glaring red flag, a beacon that signals potential trouble in paradise. Imagine this: you're in a relationship and you start noticing little white lies. Perhaps she lied about where she was, or maybe she's not being entirely truthful about her feelings. These small untruths might seem insignificant, but they chip away at the bedrock of trust. Lies, even small ones, create a web of deceit that can trap a relationship and suffocate it. It's like a slow poison, gradually eroding the foundation until it crumbles under the weight of mistrust. Being honest doesn't mean sharing every single thought or feeling. It means being true to your word, being open about your feelings and intentions, and not hiding important truths. It's about respecting your partner enough to give them the truth. Honesty is the best policy in any relationship. In conclusion, these are the top 5 behaviors that can scare men off. Let's briefly revisit them. We kicked things off with excessive jealousy. While a little jealousy can indicate care and interest, too much can suffocate and push men away. It's crucial to trust your partner and let them have their personal space. Next, we talked about overdependence. A healthy relationship thrives on mutual support and reliance. However, expecting your partner to fulfill every single one of your emotional, financial, or social needs can be overwhelming and may drive him away. Then, we delved into being too controlling. Everyone values their freedom and autonomy, and men are no different. Trying to control every aspect of your partner's life can lead to resentment and may eventually break the bond. Our fourth point was the lack of respect. Respect is the foundation of any relationship. Disrespecting your partner, disregarding their feelings, or belittling them can cause serious harm to the relationship. Finally, we discussed dishonesty. Trust is a cornerstone in any relationship, and dishonesty can quickly erode it. Being truthful and transparent with your partner fosters trust and strengthens the bond. Understanding these behaviors is not just about avoiding scaring men off, it's about cultivating healthier, more fulfilling relationships. It's about recognizing destructive patterns and working on them to build stronger bonds. It's about fostering respect, trust, and love. We all have our flaws and areas we need to work on. Recognizing them is the first step. The next is to actively work on them, to strive for growth and improvement. It isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. So let's strive to be better, to love better, to treat those we care about with respect and kindness. Let's strive to be honest, independent, trusting, and respectful. And let's remember that all relationships, just like us, are works in progress. Always remember, awareness is the first step towards change. Make sure to subscribe and follow for more insightful videos like this one.